So given the change in conditions, one of the main questions we're getting asked is what's happening on the inside of the market? And you might be thinking of buying a home, upgrading, downsizing, or buying an investment property. And we think a couple of things that are really worth considering, and we're going to run through today, that drive the market conditions: supply, sentiment, availability of credit, and track record. And to give you some confidence, while we're discussing these things, we're going to show you through some of the really strong results we've had in the last 6 months. So by supply, we mean the amount of available property on the inside of the market at any one time. So by that, we mean if there's less property for sale and plenty of buyers around, well, the price tends to go up, but the same works in reverse. The winter market has seen a definite reduction in the available stock, but it's also holding the prices up quite nicely. And that's a mixture of a few different reasons, whether it be the federal election, the most recent interest rate rises, but also just that flu season that's going on at the moment. So we are normally expecting a spring rush of listings in the back end of the market, which typically comes past grand final day into Christmas and of course into the start of next year. So if you are selling, there is an opportunity potentially to jump in before that rush to grab a hold of some of the strong prices on offer now. But on the flip side, as a buyer, you know there's going to be some opportunity to purchase in the coming months. What do I mean by sentiment? Sentiment is about how people are feeling in their hearts and minds about transacting in the marketplace. So at the back end of 2021, when we came out of lockdown, people were cashed up, ready to go, full of momentum, and fear of missing out was driving the market. As we've started to come into this year and with some of the recent changes, it's moving from fear of missing out into fear of overpaying and ultimately the fear of making the wrong decision. Now for sellers, their biggest concern, what I've learned over 20 years of real estate, is the owner's biggest concern is underselling their home and making the wrong decision. The same works exactly in reverse for the buyer. They worry about overpaying. So the best way to fix this is simply research and get to understand the market you're buying in. So we actually do help people not just sell their home, we help them buy their next home as well. So on the selling side, a very, very clear idea of getting a premium price, but on the buyer side, we can sit down and have an analysis of what you're trying to actually purchase, show you where to find out what those properties are selling for, so you can do your research to make sure you understand the market and best position yourself. So availability of credit, that means the ability for the buyer to obtain finance to buy the property. So interest rate rises are actually not the issue. They've come off some of the lowest bases that we've seen in our lifetime and are just reverting back to the interest rates that were there a short time ago. But what it does do alongside of sentiment is that some people may not be able to pay or offer as much as they'd like to for property, and that may have an impact on our market going forward. So what does it mean to you? So if you're selling your property, you should check in with your financial advisor or mortgage broker to make sure you've locked down a game plan. Talk to your real estate agent, myself, about understanding the value of your property and how we can best position you in the market. It is mostly important if you're buying first. Now this is a lower percentage of people, but really important now to make sure that if you are buying first, you're working at a conservative value of your home, you've got your deposit organised and ready, and that your property, if you need to sell it, is very close to being market ready. So clearly any advice that we give is going to be dependent on what you're actually trying to do. So if you feel it's time to discuss your situation, keep in mind that we not just help people sell homes, we help them buy them too. We also help them manage their properties with our property investment team. So if you'd like to reach out, never been a better time to set a game plan to achieve your property goals.